Hello, and welcome to another episode of No Small Roles, a D&D podcast where there are no small roles and a long tunnel into darkness ahead of you. I'm David Knight, your Dungeon Master, and I'm joined by these escapees. So say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Make a break for it!
Help us!
Do.
What's in the boxes?
Oh, that is a good question. Whilst you all row this boat gently into danger, let's cue the theme tune.
Prepare your party of players and polyhedral dice. Your tragic backstory better be worth the sacrifice. Seize your sheets and D20. Let's play D&D. Your haggard character swaggers with daggers in each hand. You've all discussed what you must, but even better laid plans. Take a turn when checks are missed.
Roll initiative. Brandish your blades. Don't fail your saves. No risk too great, no choice to roll. This is your story. No guts, no glory. Confront your fate with every roll. Every
rises inside, one who will pay the price. Their chance of success will rest upon the dice. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is No Small Roles.
So, with the appearance of two Enkidus and alarms sounding throughout the Wingthrup workshop, you all quickly ran for the exit. With Gaius kicking the construct Enkidu off of the elevating platform and giving the naked Enkidu his cloak, you decided to head through applied medtech toward an underground river that the map noted would take you back to the WCI in Drostad. As the platform raised you to the correct floor, you prepared for battle. A wise decision, as you were faced with a hall full of golems, all directing their attention your way. You charged into applied medtech only to be met with Quanta and scalpel-wielding golems. Juna flew over the fray on her staff to secure the boat, whilst Quanta launched herself at Gaius. Gwendolyn managed to strike down the robotic doctor before aiding Enkidu, whose final Gilgamesh-infused strike cleared the path for you all. You dived into the box-laden boat and took off, watching as more crossbow volleys launched out in your direction. And that's where we're at. So yeah, you just jumped into the boat. I think it was Gaius that said he grabbed the oars and was sort of rowing away. That might not be true, but the boat is essentially sailing down the river into a dark
gently
tunnel.
Down the stream.
Sailing,
rowing,
not sailing, moving,
sailing
floating.
inside.
Yeah.
Boat is moving downstairs.
It's going downstream.
Yes, Sarah. Yes.
Excellent.
Going below decks, the stream.
Below deck, it's a very small rowboat. So the tunnel ahead of you is completely dark. It's almost like if you can picture like a giant Victorian sewer. Is how I like to think of it. It's all brickwork, but like arched overhead. The river itself is wide enough for maybe two boats, maybe a little bit wider, and on either side there is a narrow footpath, just in case you need to get out. But as it sort of, the boat is moving down the river, you can see that the other golems have like reached the edge of the dock and are like loading up their crossbows to fire more volleys, which go wide, completely overhead, as you're sort of like pushing this boat further and further and further into the darkness.
I'd like to imagine it's the power of my middle finger that's just allowing these missiles to miss us.
We're going down a row.
I'm not breaking eye contact. It's working.
When you say there's a path down the side, does it look big enough for a golem to walk down it, or
Yeah, large enough for people to walk down.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like you couldn't walk two abreast. Be one person very carefully walking forwards, like watching where they stepped. The path ahead of you, the whole tunnel though, doesn't have any light down it, so you are following the river, but like as you're getting further and further from the dock, it's getting darker and darker around you.
Does anyone have any lights with them? Orin, maybe?
Have I still got the Erida head on me?
Yes. I don't think you said you did anything
I don't
with
think
it.
I said I chucked it.
No.
I would light it up. Or prestidigitation.
Amazing.
Weird.
That's terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Or
can
a-
I minor illusion some lights around us,
Oh, yeah.
David? Is that how
That
that
might be a
works
more
as well?
friendly idea.
Yeah. Does minor illusion say that the illusion glows at all? I know you've previously illusioned candles, so I'm happy. To be honest,
That was more for flavour, not like escaping almost certain death.
Oren can happily touch 5 objects on the boat and get them starting to glow, rub them with some phosphorus.
No, minor illusion can't be light.
Oh, okay.
It can't be a sensory effect.
Oren's going to make some white light at the front to guide our way, a couple of little red lights at the back of the boat.
Oh.
Like a little green one on one side, red one on the other.
I would like
Amazing.
to check out what these boxes are, please.
Absolutely. Please make an investigation check.
Investigation.
I would also
Wow.
like to check out these boxes because Vicky's head is in her hands.
This early in the game, Vicky
Juna
taps
is
out.
overboard. Juna stubbed her toe and fell out the boat.
Natural 1
Okay. Well,
for
in
a
which
3.
what we'll say is there's a couple of different boxes, but as you sort of go to look in one, you just like knock another one off into the water, so it starts bobbing its way
Oh
along.
no!
Are we
Hey, that's
checking
good.
them all off? What we did?
We're going faster, I guess.
I'm very sorry, I can't quite see what I'm doing. It's been a very long day.
But Gwendolyn, if you do want to make another check, you're more than welcome.
You take
to.
a seat, Juna. Hopefully that was just full of deadly arms that we didn't want. So I'm having a look. It's not as bad as Juna, but
Can't
what
get
am I
much
doing?
worse.
We're rolling investigation on a box right in front of us.
10.
Oh no!
10. All right.
10
okay,
to look
so-
in a box, please.
Yeah, 10 to look in a box. As you're sort of going through them, there are a couple of them that you can't quite tell how to open with the way they've been clamped shut. It almost looks like some kind of like personalized locks and things. That all of the boxes are different. There are some that look a lot like the box that contained the 4 forearms in Ferrocine's workshop. I love saying 4 forearms.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I love you
really
saying
enjoy
it.
that.
Still got with us at this point, I think, because we've never technically
Gotten rid of that broken
got
arm.
rid of it at the moment. We've still got it.
But one of the boxes definitely looks like that. Another box that you open, Gwendolyn, actually has loads of like medical uniform in it, sort of masks, aprons, that kind of thing.
PPE.
The kind of thing that you saw the golems wearing back in Applied MedTech.
Anything that I think might help cover Enkidu's modesty?
I mean, there's definitely almost like a
medic
full
uniform.
a full medic uniform that could do him. But as you're going through the boxes, there's another one that's just got loads of medical documents in it. And then the last one that catches your attention says on the top, Coggian awaiting appraisal.
Oh.
Ooh, I want to look in the Coggian box. Enkidu, you might want to wear something from there. There's an interesting box here.
Oh, let me have a look at this. Does it fit?
The medical garb, yeah, it's pretty
Roll to
airy.
see if it fits.
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
it's
can you
mostly
imagine?
like aprons and things, but they're all like kind of like one size fits all sort of thing over looped around your neck and like tied around your waist. It saves your modesty, but
Oh my gosh.
it's
yeah.
not going to keep you warm.
Oh, is it like an apron?
Yeah.
I was imagining scrubs.
Yeah.
That's what I was imagining
Yeah.
as well.
Also, if I can backtrack on the medical thing, did you just say the golems were wearing masks?
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
Masks. What's the point of that? They're a mechanical
Keep
thing.
themselves clean. You have no idea how long it takes to
breathe.
scrub dry blood off of
Ben
brass.
Galpin,
Like-
I think you have some misunderstanding of what these golems are.
Also, for anyone listening to this not in 2021, David was creating this in a global pandemic. So masks are always essential.
I mean, they're medical golems, so yeah.
It would make sense that they are, keeping themselves.
Easy
That
to
they're wearing a
clean.
mask to stop.
Yes, the faceless golems are wearing masks. It's very straightforward.
It makes the alive patients feel a bit more at home.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah.
you, Ben.
Disguises them a little bit more.
They draw smiley faces on them or frowny faces, depending if you're about to lose an arm.
David, question for a point of order.
Yeah.
Are any of those golems going down that singular path along the river with us?
Make a perception check.
Good shout.
Yeah.
Just because
Good
we're all having
shout.
a great old time, and I realised, actually,
Are we being pursued?
are we being pursued? That's a 15 plus 4, so that's a 19, baby.
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh, they are.
They are making slow progress down. It would be your right side, down the path that side. They're making very slow progress, as you can see that they can only go single file, and they're having to really focus where they're walking so they don't fall into the river. But they are pursuing you. Yeah.
How far are they?
By this point, they're probably about 60, 70 feet back, and you're definitely making distance away from them. You're moving much faster than they are.
Okay.
Do you have dark vision, guys?
Yeah, 120
Yeah.
feet.
Of
so
course,
Gaius,
Enkidu
sorry.
does as well. Yeah, so I suppose with Gaius pointing it out, Enkidu can confirm. The further away that you move, you can definitely tell that you're probably gaining 20 feet every few seconds on them.
Guys, those 10 men are still coming and pursuing us. You can see them just farther along there. They're going down a single track. I mean, has anybody got anything that could maybe destroy this cave or just affect maybe the person at the front so they all start falling over each other?
I don't know. I could probably hit them from here, but it won't do much damage. Can I make a perception of the structure of the tunnel? If it's stone or brick or...
Yeah. Make a... I suppose, especially if you're looking for a way to dislodge anything, make an investigation check.
Never mind.
It's a nice tunnel. It is made of bricks. It's almost like I say, Victorian sewer style design. It's brickwork right the way round in an arch with the river running down the center of it.
Do we want to try taking something out? I can try taking something out.
Yeah, I can hit them from here, but it might be better to have a more targeted strike, maybe dislodge a brick or shoot at their feet or something.
I mean, it doesn't look like they're advancing on us. It looks like we're potentially going to outrun them if nothing affects our voyage. If there's a gate down around the bend, then we're screwed. But I think we're okay for now.
Should we just keep going as fast as we can, and then if we get held up, then we do it?
I was just thinking I could probably try and take out some of the brickwork if we wanted.
Yeah, go for it. If you have it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go on then.
Okay. Orin's gonna grab a vial off his sort of bandolier, light a little fuse on it, and chuck it over towards the path that the golems are walking down.
Cool.
And shatter it if he can.
Oh, yeah. Make a... What for shatter does it make a saving throw?
Yeah.
The footpath makes a saving throw.
I'm just gonna say it's also if it's an inorganic material, so it has disadvantage on the saving throw. The footpath.
I can't believe
Nice.
that.
As he throws that, can I just shout, "Say hello to my little friend's little friend"?
Not if I can help it.
So because it's a footpath, I'm giving it -5. So it rolled a 3 altogether.
That fails. The footpath fails.
Shocking. I don't know why I rolled for that. Throwing it at a footpath.
It takes 18 points of I don't even know.
I think it's
thunder damage.
Thunder damage, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, you see one little section of the footpath just explode out.
Sorry, 14 points, not 18. I overrate my.
By the way, you see it explode out so that it definitely makes a gap in the footpath in front of the golems. Not directly in front of them, but in their oncoming path. And even the water sort of rushes up to fill that space a little bit. It's not that large of a break in it. It's probably about sort of 3 or 4 feet, but it's definitely something else that's going to slow them down.
Okay.
Can I shoot 2 shots of Eldritch Blast into the breach to see if I can stick out a little bit further?
Please do.
Once more into the breach, dear
Oh
friend.
gosh, natural 1 and a 5 + 11.
Well, the 11 hits because again, it's just a footpath.
Yeah.
The dreaded footpath.
Our greatest foe.
Yeah, but the one goes wide completely. But yeah,
Can
roll
I
some.
also have a stab at it?
Feel free.
You're just going to kill the footpath.
Everybody else
take up
keep
the
making
footpath.
this hole bigger. Yeah, go for it, Gina.
Half a flavour. I just want to turn around out the back of the boat and say, "Where we lead, you can't follow." And word of radiance, the footpath.
You shall not
Nice.
pass.
Yeah.
Is that a save again?
You shall not pass.
Is a Constitution saving.
What's its constitution modifier?
It'd be another -5 because it's just bricks. It's 4 altogether.
Yeah, that unfortunately
Cool.
fails.
Well tried,
Gina
footpath.
and
Well
Kidu,
tried.
roll your damage on it. We'll see how big we can make this gap.
I bet this path is bricking it every time we attack.
Hey.
That is, oh gosh, 13.
7.
7 points damage. Lovely. Cool. So again, like because you're both firing into that same gap, you can see it like crack even more. So it probably like extends to about sort of 7-8 feet worth of broken or unstable footpath. At the very least, even if they do manage to jump a little bit, anything that they land on looks like it's going to crumble for at least the first golem. Golem.
I like Golem, frankly.
Golem.
I also like Andy Serkis.
The first Andy Serkis will fall in.
Whilst all this has been going on, Gwendolyn, you've gotten down to the Coggian box.
Yeah, because I'm like she's worried there's going to be something that can attack us from the boat, so she wants to like be getting in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this Coggian thing's interesting.
Yeah. Do you want to make a check before opening it, or are you just going to dive in?
She's going to check because she's cautious at
Cool,
this
make a-
moment. She's still not even 100% if this Enkidu is the right Enkidu, but she's wanted him to be less naked.
Sure. Make an investigation check then for any like traps or anything on it.
Okay. Oh, that makes me think there is one. 12?
12. Okay, no, you do a fairly thorough check. It doesn't look like it's actually like locked shut, and none of the clamps around the lid look like they're attached to anything, as far as you can see.
Okay. Then I will open it.
Yeah, and you unclip the lids, and you open the box, and you find a suit of dark leather clothing.
Ooh.
Almost like from the heft of it, it's almost it's armor. You can imagine.
Oh.
And the whole set has got boots and gloves, and it's inlaid across the way it's been folded up. You can see like sort of the torso region. It's got inlaid silver filigree woven into intricate zigzagging patterns. Yeah, right the way down the torso. Looks pretty good.
Oh. This is nice. Oh, well done. You showed that path.
Enkidu, why are you hitting the water?
Excuse me, I just come back to life. Can you give me a break?
Yeah. We need to talk about that, don't we?
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot to unpack. Talking of unpacking, I've found some more things in a box. Some of these boxes I couldn't open. They're a bit more complicated. Maybe, Orin, you might want to look at those. But
Yeah.
this one, I think I found something better for you, Enkidu. It looks like some sort of armor. Might be better than what you're in at the moment.
Okay, I'll have a look. Is this? I just invented a check. Can I do a codex check?
The new inside check.
Yeah, you can. Give it a go.
To suspect where it comes from. Oh, what am I rolling?
Oh
for
yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah. What is it? What's?
I'm suspecting that it is. Oh gosh, because this is revealing a lot now. I'm suspecting it's from Erida,
Okay.
like a little present.
Do I show the top of the box that says it's something to do with Coggy?
Yeah, it says on the top of the box does say Coggian awaiting appraisal.
A present from Erida. Excuse me?
What?
Darrow said that.
Yeah, you didn't hear that.
say
Gina.
shit.
No, I'm saying that as Vicky.
I'm sorry, that information is.
Yeah. Feel free to make a codex check.
I don't know what I'm rolling for that. I just flat roll or.
A co-check.
No. Make it a charisma check.
Nice
Okay.
try.
Come up with something better.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, never mind. That's a 10.
A 10. Okay. Can everyone apart from Daryl take your headphones off quickly?
Oh my
gosh.
god!
No! Oh, fine.
So as you're looking at this box, and you try to make a connection back to whatever, just to confirm something, and you hear Erida's voice in your head saying, "Well, that's a good coincidence," and that's it. Headphones back on, everybody.
Wow, it was a fish.
Yeah,
Wow, the secret of love was inside him all along.
it was.
It looks like maybe it was something Coggian was working on.
Oh, is it magical?
I don't know.
Maybe I should have a look.
Most importantly, I'll hold it up to myself, see if the proportions are right, and see if it could fit me.
Yeah, it looks maybe a little bit bigger around the shoulders and waist, but majority, you reckon you could squeeze into it?
Probably better fit for me.
Probably. It's definitely meant for a taller person than Orin. But you can, you reckon like if you got into it, maybe like
Just hem it in a bit.
you hem it in a bit, you'd probably fit. Yeah.
I can sort that out for you and Kidu if you need a little bit of a sewing.
Yeah, that's greatly appreciated, Miss Upthorne.
Maybe not right now.
No, of course not. We need to escape the tunnels first. I'll put the clothes on.
Yeah. It actually takes you a little while to sort of like, pull them on as you're sort of...
Whilst I don't rock the boat. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to be really careful. So yeah, it probably takes about a good half an hour of like squeezing into it and like making sure, and you can feel it like almost like suctioning to you a little bit. It is a bit of an odd feeling, but I will send you some information for it.
Someone's
It
got a new
does-
toy.
Someone's got a new toy. It does require attunement.
Ooh.
That's actually pretty easy now.
Yep.
Saucy Manx.
But you can thank the Patreons for inventing this. The patrons.
Thanks, patrons.
Thanks, patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
Thanks for throwing a shambling mound at us a few episodes ago.
Was that them?
Yep.
Yep.
Was it?
Oh, guys.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I felt that was just for Orin. Special note, no matter what element Orin throws at it.
It will be immune and it will heal it. Fire.
Oh my
no,
gosh.
fire makes it grow.
Yeah,
8 times
it's a whole
larger.
thing.
So are we allowed to know what
Oh my
Enkidu's just put on, or is that what you
gosh.
guys were talking about whilst we had our headphones on?
It's a pretty fun thing. And yeah, like Enkidu is your, and I'll say over the time it takes you to put it on, that's probably enough time to attune to it as such. So yeah, you realize that like there is some magic built into it.
Mm.
So if you wanted to share with everybody what it is that it does, I'll let you.
I don't know how to say it in Kidu because Darrow's just got this information. But it is called the Armor of Shadows. Yeah, dark armor, get +1 to my AC. And I can use my action to cast Pass Without a Trace, without any materials. But it's a bit of a wild magic thing. For every attempted casting after the first, so the first one's free without risk, the result decides on, like everything Enkidu does, have to roll a dice to find out what happens. Either thick smoke belches out for a 1 and 2, 3 and 4, the spell is inverted, putting a big exclamation mark on my head.
You become a quest giver.
If I roll a 5 or 6 under D6, I cast the spell as normal.
Oh my gosh, that's such a scary
sick.
thing.
The odds are not good.
They're not good.
The odds are not good.
I mean, like,
To be-
I'd only want to cast it once anyway.
Well, I was going to say you get the first one for free. It's just if you need to do it again. But the again, thank the patrons.
Thank you, patrons.
They voted equally for 2 different malfunctions.
Man, that
you
is
got both.
cruel, but cool.
What, so you can do it once per day, or just once forever?
It just says for every attempted casting after the first.
You get 1 freebie.
Yeah.
It means once per day.
Oh, once per day.
Oh, it's one.
I think
okay.
I wrote it. It's once per day. Don't worry.
So I assume I still use my own spell slots, or is it like a charge?
It's like a charge. So you get like through the armor, you can cast it once. But then if you want to try doing it again, that's when the armor gets a little bit chippy.
Amazing. Well, Enkidu is trying on his new armor. Can I go and have a look at the boxes that Gwen pointed out to me that she hadn't opened up?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So again, sort of she points out the few, and the ones she has opened, there's like documents in one, medical clothes in another, and then there's one that definitely looks like it's the same kind of prosthetics box.
What, they're all open?
The prosthetics box isn't open, but
Oh, I see.
the others are.
Oh, okay. I get you. All right, okay. Oh, that one's probably got more arms. Did we want to open more arms? Last time it didn't go too well.
Do we want them on the boat with us?
You can probably just throw those things away. They're not of use to us.
Yeah, we can chuck
It'll
them.
make us go faster, hopefully.
Yeah.
Do we want a quick peek in before I chuck them away, just to make sure? Or just chuck them over?
Considering that we just escaped over 500,000 automated machines with our lives, and we have a box of more of the things with us, I'm not so sure I want to take that risk.
Okay.
Orin, what do you
Orin,
want to do?
No, no, you're probably right. We should chuck them away.
Yeah, we should definitely chuck them away, Orin.
Yeah.
If you want to keep one, we can put it in here, she says, showing in the tea caddy.
I would feel unsure about that myself, personally.
Okay.
Orin, there are many more toys in this world.
Orin will reluctantly pick up the box and then chuck it over the side. Well, we're chucking things in the water. Should I... Has Orin got the other hand, the broken hand?
Think so.
Yeah, cool. He's going to pull out the broken hand and be like, I don't know what we should do with this as well, by the way. The broken hand. I don't know whether we should keep it and maybe it might be useful for Heron or whether it's a liability. I mean, it's broken, so I don't think it's going to come to life, but as long as it's not...
Pop it in here!
Put it in the caddy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think maybe it might be useful for like proof or something.
That's-
Maybe Heron will like that.
That's what I'm
Is
thinking.
there any way they could track us with that? Because it's, I suppose if it's broken, it's not connected to that.
It doesn't
if it's
matter.
in
We saw
here, it's in
before.
another dimension, isn't it?
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
Can they
Is that
track us
right,
through
Enkidu?
you?
Are you being
No, they can.
tracked?
It doesn't matter. They will just know where we are.
Why?
Like they
Why?
Erida's knowledge and grasp and reach over this land is vast.
In
So
what way?
hard to quantify.
So she has like
Quantify.
Oh gosh.
Ah.
She just knows and she sees. So what's one hand compared to what she's been planning for all these centuries?
Okay.
And what is she planning?
Let's get out of this tunnel first.
All right. Pop it in here, Orin.
I'll go over and pop the hand in. I'm going to get rid of this box as well, I think. And Oren's going to chuck the box that they've been carrying around that had
It's
the
been
hand
so clunky every time we've been moving around with that
thanks,
as well.
Thanks for carrying it, Gwen.
Absolutely. So you're sat in the boat for quite a while. The tunnel doesn't wind. It's a very straight... It feels almost like a canal in the way that it's been constructed. It's just a very straight line.
No Oxbow Lakes, then.
Yeah. No. Bringing out the old geography there.
Oh, Jesus.
A-level, baby.
Oh, yeah.
A-level.
That's why I have no idea what you're talking about.
We'll include a picture on the Patreon.
So, yeah, you're probably there for, again, another hour. What are you all chatting about?
Where does this lead? Goes back to the forest?
To the WCI.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're not going there. No, they'll kill you.
Well,
That's where we're heading, right?
we have to get out there somewhere, man. And I suppose, we don't have to stop by and go, hey, how you doing? We just have to, like, keep on going. And hopefully we can get out of Dodge, find somewhere, safe for us to be able to... Oren, you've still got that book? We could contact Heron?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got plenty of pages.
I have a concern with that.
We might need to start hearing things from you sooner than
Yeah.
when we get out of this tunnel, Enkidu.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I really want to see Myra and Verozine.
Can we contact them?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can try and send them a message.
I mean, if we're heading... I don't know if it's safe, but if we're heading back... Because I think this... DM... This was called the Forest Gate, wasn't it? River Gates. Oh, no,
The
River
River
Gate.
Gate.
It wasn't called the Forest Gate.
Mhm.
So, it just said it goes to the WCI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the little guidebook shows you.
Okay.
Again, I love the fact that they just gave little guidebooks out to everyone.
Either Orin through his book, or I've still got one message left. If you want to contact them, Enkidu, but I think Gwen's right. I think there might be things we need to know before we get to the WCI.
Yeah.
Well, ask your questions.
Why don't you start from the beginning? We were in the tunnels. We saw you go down.
Yeah.
Aggie, come over here. And Juna starts like brewing a twain tide for him whilst he's telling it.
Aggie waddles over and starts warming herself up with her little burner on the bottom.
Oh.
And then we saw you afterwards. We saw you, buddy.
You saw me?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Your body.
Yeah.
My body?
It was definitely you.
It had your clothes, your things.
Your tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, from what I was told, I was rescued from death. A close call. But Erida had somehow stored my essence and put me into whatever this casing is.
Rescued from death, what?
Well, the contraption that we were in was definitely killed me, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, death is not a feeling. It's not a sensation, or else it wouldn't be death, right? I felt the moment before. I felt my essence being sucked away, absorbed. I don't know how to describe this. And then nothing. And next thing you know, I'm awake in a basement, some kind of facility, and there are things hanging off me.
Things hanging off you?
What kind of things?
I don't know. Some kind of long tubular thing on my back.
Oh.
And Erida was there.
In the form that we've seen her.
I don't know. What have you seen her as? Oh, wait. No, not like the guide before. No. I seen what Erida looked like before she transcended her mortal flesh.
What, you saw her in the flesh? What?
Well, it's hard to describe.
When we saw her in the codex, she looked older than the thing we saw walking around Complex.
Kind of jowly, grey hair.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's Erida. That's actually her. She's still alive? It's a very, very loose term these days. Yeah, that's her. You actually spoke to Erida?
In a way.
Yeah.
Well, we spoke to you as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the codex.
No, that wasn't me.
What did she say when you saw her?
Well, she said a lot of things. She said she rescued me from death. She has plans. Big plans. Plans going back longer than 500 years. Turns out I really do have King's blood inside me somehow. But whether it's mine or Gilgamesh's, she wasn't sure. Which now confuses me. She needs... or the wing... She said we. She no longer thinks herself as I. If you direct a question to her past life, she answers as I, Erida. But now she's so much more. She said we, there... Damn it. And he's breathing quite heavily because, death and all. Someone of King's blood is needed on the throne. And the army that we saw in the facility is there if needed for when the king takes back the throne, or whoever takes back the throne. And that all the things that she has been planning has been for the good of Dravain.
Do you believe it's for the good of Dravain?
Well, when I questioned that, you can imagine what she said, right?
That is restricted for other family members?
And that's the one. Here's the really sticking thing. When I tried to challenge her and said that even if you have all these plans for me, and if what I want and what you want are the same thing, that things aren't going to go the way that you want them to, she didn't feel threatened at all. She said, feel free to stand against this if you want. That I have autonomy over my moves. just so long as I get.
As you go to carry on speaking, Enkidu, you find that all of the words stop in your mouth.
Are you okay, Enkidu?
So she just said to you that you can make your own choice, but she has this aim that she thinks coincides with your aim. Is that right?
Enkidu's been dry coughing the whole time. Like,
There's some things you can't say.
looks that way. Secrets I can't break even if I choose to.
Juna's gonna come and put like an arm on his shoulder just whilst he's sitting there.
And you, what? So you got king's blood in you. What? Like?
That's the thing. She can't distinguish whether it's mine or Gilgamesh.
And all your friends, are they still in there?
Yeah, they're still here. That has nothing to do with Erida. That's something entirely that's... I think I've come into a conclusion that I'm the one who put them there.
What? What do you mean?
There's a riddle or mystery to my heritage, my constitution, that I've never had a hint of, ever, until now. But Erida gave me a little parting gift, a hint. Somebody who specializes in people who could be similar to me. And it's somebody we're potentially going to see anyway.
Who?
Jeremiah Hastan. Demonologist, apparently.
Demonologist?
Yeah.
Sorry. Jeremy Hastan.
Jeremiah.
Sorry, have we heard that name?
Yeah, hard G, Geramir.
Oh, Geramir.
Geramir Hastan is one of the names on the map that Heron gave you.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, son. Damn, son. Wait, you got demon blood in you?
I don't know.
Enkidu,
Yes.
would you mind if I tried to read your thoughts to try and work this out with you?
I will give you my consent, but I will also give you a warning.
Yeah.
Because whilst I know that my friends and Alcibiades is inside, I can't account for anyone else. Do you understand?
Are there voices from the codex inside?
No, I don't think it works like that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to try. I feel like it might help try and decipher what's going on here.
At your own risk, Miss Septhorn, but
Yeah.
please be careful.
I will be very careful. And with that, I will cast Detect Thoughts.
I choose not to save.
Nice.
That's a worse saving throw than the wall.
I guess my question is, do all of the other voices in his head, can I do that? And if so, do they count as individual people, or is it just Enkidu, or like, yeah.
So when you, like, as you sort of, cast the spell and take it up, the surface thoughts are just Enkidu's thoughts. I feel like every time you've cast it, or somebody has cast it on Enkidu, like, his surface level has definitely just been his own. As you push deeper, it is like pushing it, as you've, listened to other people's thoughts, sometimes it's more like slipping into, trying to find out what it is. Krau's was really confused and things like that. Did you listen to Krau's thoughts? You did.
I think I've only ever done it as surface level. I don't know if I've ever pushed beyond that.
The deepest you've gone was with the mirrors, maybe.
With the mirror guy.
for
That's
sure.
the one,
Yeah.
that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you sort of push deeper, it's not that sort of unhinged feeling. It's like almost stepping into a conversation. You can hear a few other voices. And some of them you can almost pick out the way that the Enkidu's spoken about them.
And I've heard what's her name? I've heard her voice in the memory.
Hina, yeah, you've heard Hina. Yeah, so you pick her voice out of this conversation that's happening in the back of his head. But then as you're sort of pushing down, trying to figure out what it is that Enkidu's seen and just been through, you start to hear that conversation very clearly. Is it right if I can share some audio with you all?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Enkidu, you're stood at the end of the advancement test. The arcane electrical energy has just come spiraling down the corridor. You've attempted to escape with a thunder step that's been instantly dispelled, and as you sort of feel this arcane energy like completely consume your body, the glass in front of you goes dark, and you can feel it's not like a burning sensation. It's more like being pulled and sucked dry is the only way to describe it.
Right.
And at the same time, a very similar feeling to that time that Alcibiades managed to take over your body. That feeling of being like pulled backwards and everything goes bluish, white. It's not, you can feel that you're not in your body anymore. But you're still thinking. You're still aware. And slowly the sort of the blinding bluishness starts, the shapes moving in it. And you realize you're stood at the base of almost like an amphitheater. And you can't quite see all of the people that are filling this stadium in front of you. But there's one woman much closer. Erida.
Older, jowled, studying you with an uncaring expression.
And there are voices right the way around, coming from all over the place. His mind is tangled. A true Mazoku. Demon clan, too many voices. Hard to decipher, but in King's blood. Servelt was right. Keep that in his build. Use a sovereign model and send him on to the king. Make that his prime directive. Ensure the return. Good. Soon. And you open your eyes. And you're not there anymore. You're in a very small room, actually. And Erida, as you've seen her
Around the workshop.
in her more robotic form, is stood in front of you. She asks you if you could blink. You do so. Lift your arms. It happens. Take a walk around the room. And you do. You realize your back is a very thick wire trailing off of it.
Do I feel it?
Yeah, it is quite heavy. So as you are sort of pacing around the room, almost not in complete control of your body, sort of the weight of this is like sort of swinging, and it's not throwing you off balance, but you are very aware of it. You also realize that you're completely naked.
Of course.
Of course. And in the center of your chest is an open compartment with a cerulean triangle in the center of it. Erida is watching you very carefully as you sort of complete your circuit around the room, and you're stood facing her. She says, "So, your new prime directive is to return to Mervai and deliver yourself to the throne. Is that understood?"
What have you done? What is this? What is this? What have you done to me?
We have rescued you, Enkidu,
Rescued me?
from death.
But aren't you the ones who killed me in the first place?
Well, we didn't vote for you.
I touch myself. Can I feel myself? Can I feel, touch, physical sensation?
Yeah. Obviously, you're looking at this triangle in your chest, and you've got this wire on your back, and you just know that you are not in the body that you were in.
Right.
But all of this feel and the sensation is definitely there. And your skin feels like skin. It doesn't feel like any of the prosthetics that you've sort of handled before. It doesn't feel metallic, or it feels real. She says, "You see, we have a larger plan for you, Enkidu. You have king's blood in you. And so, worthy of king's blood, we have given you a sovereign model body."
Wait, what? Am I the only one?
The only one of...
To receive this kind of body? Are there others?
I'm sorry, that information is restricted to higher-ranking family members.
Of course it is. Do I still have blood?
In this body, you do. That should aid with any deception that is needed.
Deception?
And you look over to a corner, and stepping forward is another Enkidu.
Fucking hell!
He's not naked, at least. He's wearing a short, sort of a bodysuit that sort of cuts off at the top of the thigh into a vest. Yes, you see, you must leave immediately and take your companions with you. We'll be sending him first to distract them, and you'll follow with the truth.
Wait, why do you need him if you want me to leave with my friends anyway?
To make it believable. You see, he cannot bleed. And so to prove that you are you can bleed for them.
What?
To prove that you are not built. There's a wry smile that runs across her face.
There's so much I don't understand. Why all this secrecy? What is all this? How long have you been down here preparing for whatever you're planning?
Over 500 years. Though the plan has been in place much longer.
Yeah. Okay. And if you know about my history, what about the rest of my friends inside?
That is a curious one. That's not something I have any knowledge of. They're all in there with you. Very hard to unpick any one of them from your mind. But in truth, you'll need a demonologist to figure out what you are.
Wonderful.
She nods her head to the other Enkidu, who walks out of the room. She turns back to you. Now, of course, you cannot willingly confirm what you are to anybody. That's built in. And whatever path you need to take to reach the throne, to reach Mervai, you are welcome to. But that's where you're headed.
Mervai.
And you can feel that in your gut. Like, that's not even a choice. You know, yep, you need to go there, to the royal palace, to the throne.
And do what?
And deliver yourself.
To who? What is...
To the throne. That's all you need know.
And how will they know that I'm the right one?
The thing about having quite a powerful divination wizard in our ranks is that we are expecting quite a few certainties, and you are one of them.
What do you get out of this?
Sort of pauses, looks at you. I'm sorry, that information is restricted to higher-ranking family members.
When did you change? You gave it your flesh and blood, and now you're whatever we are now.
As I was nearing the end of my life, it became very clear that I could not continue as I was, but work still needed to be done. And so, I developed the Codex and passed my mind into its libraries. and over time, other family members, other beings of intelligence or skill have also been codified. And don't worry about your body, Enkidu. We have you backed up, so to speak.
I feel like so many choices have been taken away from me. Whatever it is you've got planned for my future, don't expect it to go exactly the way you want it to. I'm my own man.
Yes. That is to be expected. That is to be celebrated. You have autonomy over yourself, beyond your prime directive, beyond sharing what you are truthfully, willingly with anybody. Beyond that, feel free to share anything of this conversation. Feel free to work against us if that is what you need.
I don't understand.
All you need to know is that we are doing this for Dravain.
You're not undermining Dravain. No nefarious plan to upset the world balance, crazy power grabs, domination. This is for the benefit of Dravain, its people.
Everything that has been planned has been for the benefit of Dravain.
Would Krall have said that if he was still here?
Perhaps not toward the end of his life. He'd lose it a bit. But yes, that's why he joined our ranks.
How much do you know of my friends, our quest?
Since you've joined us, everything.
And you're not in our way?
No. Why should we be?
Right.
Somebody needs to sit on the throne in Enkidu. That person needs to have king's blood.
Ain't just happened to be me.
You, one of the others who is a part of you. It's hard to be precise in that matter. If you wish to know more of yourself, as a olive branch, so to speak, seek out Geramir Hastan.
Right.
I believe he was on your map anyway.
It was.
He had a macabre interest in the Abyss. Not sure what's happened to him, but he will have more answers for you, should you want them.
So there are limits to your expanded knowledge, accumulated over the past 500 years.
Well, yes. Whilst we have become experts in everything mechanical, our knowledge is not boundless.
Our? So, no longer singular, but collective.
Indeed. Now, you need to go. Convince your friends to leave. I'm going to cause a panic. She turns around, picks up an Erida head that looks bashed and broken. She hands it to you.
She removes the wire from your back. The triangle in your chest closes shut as if it was never there.
She says, though of course we didn't start the panic. You did.
Which way's out? Can I see an exit?
Yeah. As you have a very quick look around, you realize that you're stood beyond this room. It's a glass-walled open space. Beyond the glass walls, you see another room filled with 5 tanks, humanoid-sized tanks filled with bluish liquid. And in each of those, in 4 of those at least, there are metallic skeletons suspended. There is one empty one that is open, that you can only assume you've stepped out of.
through a different sort of wall, you can see a large office, and there are shelves of old prototypes along the along each wall. In the center of the room is a large design desk. But one thing that does catch your eye is a very large portrait. And you know him, having spent time in the royal palace, that this is Rumath Terrible.
Oh.
Human, sepia skin, blonde goatee beard, bald head. He's a stern, proud expression. He's got a quill in hand, signing a scroll. And you almost lock eyes with this portrait for a moment. And then the last thing you notice in that room is a small plinth with a handprint on it. But looking through all the glass walls, you do then also notice sort of the exit door, and that's the way that the other Enkidu left.
Is Erida still there, or have I left her behind?
No, she's still sort of stood there waiting for you to leave.
Do I follow him?
Yes. Find your friends and convince them to go, or unfortunately, they will be terminated.
What's the plan for him? And I nod my head towards the portrait of Rumath.
Everything in the plan is for Dravain.
Right. We'll see. And I leave, follow the other Enkidu. Wait, what about my clothes?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I just walk out naked. Hey, everyone, I'm alive.
Naked with an Erida head in your hand.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Yeah.
And that's where we'll leave it.
Whoa.
Grace here, keeping you updated with all things No Small Rolls related. Hello, No Small Rollers. Next episode, episode 43, will wrap up this Wingthrup story arc. But that doesn't mean you won't have questions. So look out for details of our next instalment of No Small Questions. And send us your queries via social media at No Small Rolls on Twitter and Instagram. Search No Small Rolls on Facebook. And you'll find the link to our lovely Discord chat in the show notes. Patreon members will have the chance to join us live in the Zoom to ask their questions. So let's take this opportunity to celebrate our newest patron, Kim Ford. Big love and big rolls to you. You join a group of fantastic supporters and tea enthusiasts alike. Would you like to show your love for our podcast, dear listeners? There are several ways you can do so. You can check out our Patreon, www.patreon.com/No Small Rolls, and see if you'd like to join any of our tiers of membership. You can leave us a lovely review on iTunes or Podchaser, a great way to help new crumpets take a bite out of No Small Rolls. And of course, you can do it the old-fashioned way. Recommend us to your podcast-loving pals. All of these things bring us a lot of joy. Now, as I said at the start of this update, this current story arc will come to a close next episode, and before we continue with the main storyline, we'll be taking an exciting little detour via Candlekeep. The wonderful Daryl Bailey will be in the DM chair and will be releasing this adventure throughout October, returning to Dravain in November. That's all from me for now. Let's see how our party fare after finding out about Enkidu's mission from Erida.
Now, I'm assuming, Juna, as you've listened to this whole conversation, this scene and witnessed this memory inside of Enkidu, that you've shared it with the others?
Yeah.
Yep.
What Juna is going to do is say, look, the Aggie's boiled. And sort of give everyone a cup of tea to sort of say, look, Enkidu, I'm going to share this story. But as she's pouring Enkidu's Twain Tide, she's going to slip a little bit of frosting in.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew Juno would drug her friends.
Nothing bad. Just to sort of, yeah. It's really naughty, but it's what Juno would do. She wouldn't do anything that would hurt him, but I think he needs to lose some inhibitions here.
Absolutely. Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
And Enkidu, what's your passive perception?
It's not very high. It's 11.
Okay, cool.
9.
9, in which case,
no.
Enkidu, you do notice Juna take a little bit of white powder out of her little pocket and just sprinkle it into the cup that she then passes over to you.
I'm assuming Juna doesn't realise that Enkidu notices. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Cool.
With a 9, I think. I imagine most of us have noticed.
I think everyone's passives are higher than that, so...
and Juna does sort of, she regales it in quite a kind way to Enkidu and just sort of keeps checking in with him to be like, yeah, okay, Enkidu, while she's telling it.
Yes, and I take the cup. DM, does this count as poison?
Yes, technically it's a magical poison.
If it counts as poison, I will drink it anyway. I'll just slowly slip it.
I'm not going to make you make a check for it.
Well,
Oh, you're not?
Nope.
But I can save against the effects.
Oh, yeah, you drink it and you realise you don't even need to try saving against the effects.
Robot Enkidu is immune to it.
Not for this, at least.
And the whole time I'm sipping the tea, I'm just like peering over the top at Juna.
Oh my god, and Juno doesn't know that he knows, so she thinks that whatever he says is going to be truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know that it has no effect, I assume.
We don't know, but Juno is 100% sure that whatever comes out of his mouth is going to be the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a power play, my friend. Well played.
God. You don't know they know we know they know.
Oh my god.
But you now know everything that he knows.
Do you? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, up to the point when she stopped listening to his talk.
She was listening to his thoughts for that whole thing, though, wasn't
Yeah,
she?
she is.
Yeah.
But
She knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like for Juna, it was very fast to like experience that memory, obviously. For the listeners, probably took about 15 minutes.
And Juna, did you say you were sharing it with us?
Over the Twain Tide. Over the most tensely charged Twain Tide of the campaign so far.
oh gosh, DM, what happens when I drink?
It's all normal.
Okay, fine.
It all
Okay.
acts normally.
Okay,
you just
thanks.
don't need to.
Yeah.
Guys, you gotta stop. This is too scary.
I think sensing the tension, Aggie's just going to come over and like nestle next to her. And be like,
Do I taste it as well? Does it taste like Twain Tide?
Yeah, you can. All of your senses are there. It's a very proficient body you've been given.
Cool.
How do you feel, Enkidu, about it all?
Physically, I feel stronger than I was. Tireless. I still feel pain. Like I'm still lift the shit, like the armor, and just show where I've been cut by the robots. Like I still bleed, assumedly my own blood. But I don't think I needed to drink any tea. I felt like I wanted to. I don't know.
And how do you feel about this prime directive? Do you feel like compelled to do it, or that you want to do it, or like you have a choice not to do it?
As soon as Kido opens his mouth, he starts. He stops.
All right, I won't ask you about it again, Enkidu. Sorry.
He catches his breath.
do you know if what you know now, what is discussed now, gets reported back to Erida? Can she, like, listen in on you?
I think we're connected. Maybe. I mean,
Wow.
I've been codified, haven't I? She knows what I know.
We met you in the codex, but that doesn't necessarily, I don't know if it auto updates or whether you have to be plugged back in or how it works.
You have to restart your computer to see the effects.
I don't know if you're Wi-Fi enabled or you're just purely landline.
No, I mean, I plugged out the Ethernet and did the updates manually. Well, you weren't speaking to me, or else I'd remember that, wouldn't I?
So that means maybe you're not linked. Yeah, because we spoke to you and we also saw your friends and Orin Taps's head. They were sort of
Just information. It's just knowledge. The personalities, maybe an echo of it was probably added to the codex, but the codex is from my understanding, it's just knowledge of whatever the person had up to the point they were added.
Okay, so it's not necessarily feeding in to it currently. You're not.
I don't know.
Can you access it?
Yeah.
Ikidu will sit for a bit, and then like he'll kind of like look back towards the tunnel where he came from, and like peer back and try to sense Erida. Just sense all the codex, if they're two different things.
Yeah. Again, make another charisma check.
That's 18.
So it is almost like it's close to like one of those inside checks that you do as you're trying to like make that connection back, and it is there. Just you don't know whether or not you can access it for answers in the same way, but it's almost like you can see the doorway to it. You're just not entirely sure if you can open the door.
I think that's something I don't want to know today. I just try to close off that connection. Yep, she's there.
Okay.
You said that you wanted to get to Ferricine and Myra.
I think
That's what you want to do?
Yeah, she deserves the truth about what happened to her parents. The best that I can tell it.
Just so I'm clear, has Juna explained everything she's seen inside Enkidu's head to us?
Yeah.
So we're fully aware of like his prime directive. Not the prime directive, but his prime directive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can't say it, but if someone else says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enkidu, if you ever have anything else that you want us to know, I can always come back in for a visit.
Juna says that. As she says that, Enkidu will say, if such an occasion does arise, I'll make sure to give you my consent. And then he pours the rest of the tea over the side of the boat.
What do you want to do now? Go to Ferricine and Myra or talk to them, but what do you want to do then, Enkidu?
Find Gerimir. If he's of, as Erida put it, within her ranks, that means he's another one of the founding members that's somehow still alive. She told me that I should go see him, which means he's alive in some form. Just like Crow was, like Erida is. I think we'll get some answers there.
And that handprint you spoke about is we're thinking another one of the mirrors.
Yes. I'm thinking that was one of the place where she goes to speak to the other consortium members. Well, the ones that still have their mind, that is.
Oh, wow. Oh, so that would link into Krauss and whoever was in the other mirrors.
Yes.
Well, there was Do Not Trust, and then there was the Smile, yes.
Yeah, and some two Smash mirrors, was that right? 3 Smash mirrors?
3 Smash mirrors.
Smash mirrors.
There were 5 in total, I believe.
Yes.
Do Not Trust.
So either they're dead or missing.
I wonder if Erida was Do Not Trust.
Or a smashed one.
Yeah.
Maybe Crow didn't want to speak to her anymore.
I think they went their separate ways.
Yeah.
I think their goals misaligned. And Crow's mind slipped. He still had physical flesh. He's gone mad over the years of peering into the past, the future. Whereas Erida found a way to preserve her mind.
Who's got that map with that Heron gave us?
Yeah, I've got several maps. Oh yes, here it is, Orin.
Okay, hang on. To the east, nestled among the Forlossian hills, is a note that reads, Archmagus Gerimir Hastan said to have wandered into the hills before disappearing entirely. Oh, I see. The first bit is that's not the bit that I would read out because that's not written on the map.
No.
Archmagus Gerimir Hastan said to have wandered into the hills before disappearing entirely.
And it looks like the place where he disappeared was not Maerve?
Mervi.
Mervi.
The Forlossian hills are just near.
Slightly north.
Yeah, just near Mervi and the Crownswood. The Crownswood, of course.
So, just so I'm clear, guys, because we were sent to do a task, which is to infiltrate, gather information. We've got a bucket ton of information here.
Yeah.
And once we get to a position where we're able to speak with Terran, we should do, right? Right?
Really? I'm not sure. I think he's in way in over his head. Who can imagine what we just saw underneath the Winthrop facility? 50,000? More? Automated soldiers ready to do whatever? What is he going to do with that information? Who supports him? What's his faction? There's so much about him we don't know.
Yeah. The flip side is, isn't it better that some other people know about that?
Yeah, because with respect,
What are we going
who's
to
our
do?
faction? Like,
Yeah.
we're not equipped to take on 50,000 of those bad boys. I get that he's maybe not capable of it, but at least he's in a position of some form of influence.
We could barely take out a sewer.
That didn't hit back.
Its saving throw was -5.
And who does he tell? Who does he report that to?
Not our problem.
He
Not
has,
our problem, Bay.
but he does have other people. He has his known colleague who's been going around. He said that we could contact him at some point.
I would really like to contact that gnome.
See if we can get a different view on Heron.
Yeah?
Look, if you want to tell Heron something, go right ahead. But I'm not holding out a lot of faith that he's going to be able to help us. I mean, he only paid us 150 gold, and we discovered centuries-old secrets that could completely flip the power balance of Dravane itself.
Wasn't that money just to help prepare us? I thought he was going to pay us more for the actual information.
Yeah, he was going to pay us. It was going to be payday when we gave him, like, the information and we got back to him. And I'm kind of keen on that money, and I'm kind of keen on staying out of the way of all these 50,000 golems and wizards and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This is a bit too above us, I think.
Yeah.
Whether it's above us or not, I think we're involved now because, well, it seems very closely tied to what's going on with Enkidu. He's got a whole new body. And
Enkidu, look, like, the thing is, I know you've got this order. That's a terrible accent, Chris. Order? Order. I don't know. He's a
It's a little furry creature that
it's-
lives by the sea. Is that what, like little otter?
Yeah. Look, to my American friends, I've told you that, like, this accent is not from America, it's from this continent.
It's from Ireland.
Forgive me. It's an alien accent.
Yeah, it's an Ailish
It's an Ailish accent.
yeah.
You've got this order in your head, and it's, like, telling you to do this thing, to go to this place. But, like, is there no way that you cannot go to this place? Is there no way that we could, like, just take off? Like, there is nothing stopping us. I appreciate that, like, you know, heroism and all that jazz, guys, but this is big. This is not just like, you know, we stumble in on this and, like, we're backs against the wall. We don't have time to help anybody else out or call on anybody else. We've got somebody who is an out, who can take up the mantle of this responsibility. Like, Oren, back me up here. You're feeling the same, right, buddy?
Yeah. Like, I mean, we've got other things that we can pursue if, you know, that we want to do other things. Like, there's, we wanted to find out about, like, Korsticus, like Findergolf.
Korsticus? Who is that?
Yeah, that all happened when you were...
Yes, you can say it. I was dead.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, when you were dead. That we found out, like, quite a bit from the Codex, about Korsticus, who's, well, related to Guy and maybe me, and they're missing, and they're not in the Cortex.
You also want to go to Orcish to find, like, you know, Gwen's mom and things? Like, you know, changing of states and stuff isn't really, like, our strong suit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm stating the obvious. Somebody tell me that I'm wrong here.
No, you're not wrong. And he'll stand up and he'll lean right into Guy's face.
Be careful, don't fall off the boat. Enkidu.
He'll lean right into Guy's face and say, look into my eyes, guys. Is there a difference from what you saw before? Do I look any different? Do I sound any different? And well, yes, you've just heard that I somewhat died, came back in the new body, and I don't feel hungry. I don't feel tired. I have no desire to eat anything except for nostalgia. Everything about that has changed, and at the same time, nothing has changed. From the very beginning, I've been on this path to get my brother onto that throne. The only thing that changed is that someone else has plans for that very same destination. So yes, I have a... and he coughs because he can't say the word. Yes, I have that, but at the same time, it's my desire as well. And you got one thing wrong. You said there are things that we can do instead. You're free to do whatever you want, but I'm still heading in that direction. With or without anyone here, if it comes to that. And he'll just back off and just sit back down on the other end of the boat.
Enkidu, how much do you trust what Erida said to you, and that it is in fact for the good of Dravain?
Well, I trust that she didn't lie, or else she would have told me a lot more. I mean, she could choose. She picked and chose what she could tell us. I assume that there is something that threatens all of Dravain, and she has convinced herself, on her faction or her ranks of people, that her way is the way for the good of all. I believe there's some truth to that, but the reason why she's chosen to hide the rest of it, I'm not so sure about it.
So she wants you or Gilgamesh or someone on the throne to protect against something else?
I assume so. If you recall, there was a prophecy that we uncovered, wasn't there?
Yeah. Flames, floods, the dead rising, titans tearing the earth asunder. Some words like that.
And she claimed she had a divination wizard in her ranks. And they were counting on certain certainties.
What was it? Hang on, was it flames, floods, the dead rising?
Yeah.
Orin just slightly stops as he thinks about the dead rising and just sort of looks over at Enkidu, keeps his thoughts to himself, but it's just like...
Enkidu, I think, I'd rather have someone like you, Enkidu, on the throne than anyone else. I think, and I trust that your belief in Gilgamesh, if he is indeed, who they're talking about, I'm all for that. But my worry is that I don't trust these Wingthrups, and what if they just need a body on the throne?
Oh, that is entirely possible.
And that once that happens, they'll try and take over that body.
Yes. I assume that to be the case.
And yet, despite that, you'd still want to go through with it?
Yes. Because what else does being a monarch mean if you're not going to take responsibility for the people under your care?
What happens if we didn't have a monarch, if we had something different?
Well, we can establish that. There are people in this country that want to create something else. Timon Prevost wants to change how we do things. If I or Gilgamesh or whoever is going to sit any throne, they need followers. Berian's happy to poison people and seduce and brainwash them to be his followers, but it'd be a country of dead and empty, soulless people. If we're going to change Dravain and change what it means to care after people, we need followers that share that vision. So I'm not so naive that I'm just going to walk into a throne room and they're going to accept my brother and I as their rulers. No, that's not my worry. My worry is I think I can see you gathering followers and being a worthy king and a great king. My concern is that the Wingthrups have other plans and just need... They can make these robotic bodies, but they can't make a body like a living body. So what if they just need someone with a living body on the throne to then take... Although I guess you don't have a living body. But my worry is that we'll lose you at the end of this.
I think even more we need to get your friends out of your head, because maybe then they can have control over themselves. Your brother Gilgamesh will have the control that maybe you won't have if we can get him out.
That's the first step. And whether or not the Wingthrups will take over whatever is left of me, that is something unfortunately, I can't do anything about right now. I just have to keep going forward until the path is clear. And so far, even though it was handed to me by somebody I can't entirely trust, it's still more information than I had yesterday.
So the question is, do we report back to Heron, which brings us back round to that?
And how much do you report to him? You're going to tell him about me?
I don't think we need to.
I don't think that's the information he was trying to get. So I don't see that he needs to know that specifically.
I'm on board with that.
I think he might need to know that Erid is still knocking around. I think he might want to know that there's a golem army.
Switch it on his head. Let's say, for example, that the Wingthrops are awful people who have done some terrible things. But what if
Suppose.
this is for the good of Dravain and the consortium? We have no way of knowing the right thing to do. Do
No,
we
we don't.
really?
Which is the frightening thing.
The consortium's bad. Heron's against the consortium, and the Wingthrops are doing this. There's no way of knowing what the best course of action actually is anymore, if I'm being honest.
So to clarify, the Wingthrop's plan, and he holds his hand to Enkidu, is you.
I'm a piece of it, sure.
But as in, like, yeah, sure. But at this point forward, they're not going to make a move. They're waiting for you to make a move, and then we will see what happens from then on.
Yes.
Guy sits back and crosses his arms.
How did we get tangled up with all of this?
Yeah.
Fate, maybe.
Destiny.
A badly timed conversation with a woman in the woods.
Yeah.
Or a conversation that was always meant to happen. I would bet my Twain tide further along the line. The other three of you fit into this somehow.
It has been ordained.
So at the end of this river...
Yep.
Yep, we must be at the end of this. But David's got out for a jolly old walk.
David, where have you gone?
And go.
Who is David anymore?
We find Ferrocene and Myra and Enkidu, yes?
Please, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's the least we can do for you.
Tell them. How much do we tell them?
Just tell her about her parents and give her the choice. She's a smart girl. Given what happened to her parents, does she want to do this? Or does she want to have a chance of living a different way? It's a big world out there. She doesn't have to be tied to this place, the dangers, There doesn't have to be another Wingthrop that is codified and added to this madness.
I don't want them to do these trials.
I mean, what's the point of sitting on a throne to save millions of people if I can't save 2 young girls? I'll at least have a talk with them first.
Now we're going to be, we think, leaving here into the WCI.
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to just let us through, Enkidu? Or do we have a battle on our hands at the other end of this?
I assume they're going to be hostile. Not everyone's going to be clued up with the plan, I assume. So Iota had made the panic and everyone attacked us. Because if everyone was of the same mind, it would have just let us walk out. And she threatened to kill all of you, not me, so it's probably best we steer clear.
But we're on our way to the WCI.
Well, let's see. Let's see. It might like come out of a cave face,
All right.
and then we're down the.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll like pop up and suddenly there'll be like a.
Yeah, we're in the toilets.
Well, isn't this a delivery route?
Yeah.
These are boxes. They're going somewhere. This whole tunnel has a purpose. To get stuff from the workshop to the WCI.
Well, we can't do anything else. We're on this boat. There's no other passage. We're just going to have to take a breath, rest while we can.
And be ready.
Yeah.
David, can we have taken a short break during all of this?
I mean, he
Short
said it was
rest?
an hour.
Yeah.
And that was a short rest.
Yeah, as you
short
all
rest? Take a short
sort of
rest?
settle into the boat, start taking a short rest. In fact, start taking a long rest. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Whoa, Nelly.
Attacking a wall in a big conversation.
That's the episode title.
Title of the episode.
You have been listening to David Knight as your Dungeon Master, Ben Galpin as Orin, Chris Watts as Gaius, Daryl Bailey as Enkidu, Grace Kelly Miller as Gwendolyn, and Vicky Gaskin as Juna. Original music by David Knight. Please tell your friends, subscribe, and follow us on all the social media. Thank you for